The Curlewis Golf Club has secured its water future.
This is the Alcoa Point Henry complex, just out of Geelong.
I'm here at Fine Art College where the girls are getting right into the Closing the Gap program.
Good evening, I'm Meryl Friend and welcome to News Geelong on this Wednesday, the 8th of October. Now tonight we learn about the latest exhibition being held at Osborne Park and discover more about the invaluable support from the local State Emergency Services volunteers and of course local sport and weather. But first, the Osborne Park Association Inc., in conjunction with Mirabel Antiques, the Geelong Historical Society and the Geelong Museum Association Inc., present their latest exhibition, Unearth, Reflections of the Past, over every weekend during October from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Osborne Park for a gold coin donation. And we're joined with Cheryl Scott, the president of Osborne Park Association. And first of all, we've got an amazing new exhibition on here called Unearth. Can you tell us a bit about it?
I certainly can. The Unearthed exhibition is a collaborative event between the Geelong Historical Society, the Geelong Museum Association, but the bulk of the collection is from John Rosenberg of Mirabel Antiques and his co-worker Lindsay Wilson. We have here an amazing collection of artefacts that date back to 100 to 1,000 years BC. We have 18th and 19th century embroideries and silkwork. We have this magnificent straw-made box. It was made by a prisoner of war from the Napoleonic Wars in 1813, and the craftsmanship in it is just magnificent. We've got button collections and hat pins, postcards, ivory buttons. This is a moustache cup. Now, Lindsay Wilson's father unearthed this moustache cup on the goldfields of Bendigo apparently some years ago. Well, that's where it originated from, and that started Lindsay's interest in moustache cups. We have a collection of 15 of them here, and of course they were designed so that you could drink without getting your moustache wet. No licking lips. So Lindsay has quite an extensive collection of over 70, and we have 15 of the different designs here. On the top of the cabinet we have Emari porcelain from the 18th century, Japanese, and these two panels either side are Japanese 18th century tablecloths, patchwork with real gold thread, and you can tell it's real gold thread because it doesn't tarnish. Right. And on this panel here too, this is 18th century embroidery, Russian embroidery, and it has drawn thread work. It's machine embroidery, but it has drawn thread work around the edges of it. This cabinet here is absolutely stunning. We have 21 varieties of purses and handbags here, and this one, for example, is apparently made from a cow's udder. Interesting. Yes. The needlework and the embroidery on them is so beautiful and fine and detailed. This is actual petty point embroidery, so that's proper. That's not a sketch. That's right. That is stitches. There's a parrot up the end there, you can see in the cabinet. That's actually a lipstick holder, and the lipstick is inside the tassel part. We have several other pieces of embroidery like the pyjama bags in the bottom part of the cabinet there. Here we have 18th and 19th century Chinese embroidered boys' caps. The detail in the workmanship here is just beautiful as well, where you've got little eyes and ears, and the fine embroidery on this cap, for example, is just magnificent. Another one at the back there has eyes as well, and they always have the little panel at the back. This is a most beautiful gown, and on the back of it has a distinguishing panel. I'll turn that around for you. Sure. This panel on the back explains what class in society you belong to. On the wall behind us we have examples of hand-woven and hand-embroidered Russian work, panels and table runners. This one is a silver bullion, the black velvet with the silver thread work is silver bullion work. And again, the detail and the craftsmanship in the embroidery is absolutely beautiful. This is a collection of artefacts from the late John Bechervaise, who was an Antarctic explorer, but he was also a Geelong College art teacher. And the fascinating thing about this collection are the wooden skis, the bamboo stocks, and there's a pair of skates down there that have been made from part of a vehicle, a weasel it was called, vehicle. And the crampons and so on, and the jacket and the boots here. These weigh a tonne. To be walking around in snow wearing these you'd had very tired legs by the end of the day, I imagine. George Herbert worked at the cement works, and you may have noticed the collection of photographs from the cement works, which is now closed, in the foyer as you entered. George worked there for over 40 years, but he was also a master sailing ship rigger, and he was a model ship maker. So this is a collection of his works of model ship building. Yes, the detail and the hours that must go into making something like this is quite amazing. If I could draw your attention to this cabinet, this is a cabinet from the original Geelong Museum that used to be in Moorabool Street that was demolished back in the late 1950s, I think it was. The top piece on it is actually from an overmantel on a fireplace that was here at Osborne House, and it was donated back to us last year when we had a Corio Shire exhibition. The cabinet now is exhibiting some very fine pieces of fabric, hand-painted fans, Tibetan stirrups, this little collection of fairies, fairy work it's called, a German. They're a bit risque, but if you read the labels, probably not politically correct either, but very interesting. And lots of games here with inlaid gold patterns into the boxes, and then down the bottom here we have English rubber-made animals. The fabric above it is also 18th century, and that's gold thread as well. So it's an amazing collection of artefacts that we hope the people of Geelong really enjoy seeing.
And it's here for all of October?
All of October. It's open every weekend, 10 till 4 until the end of October. But if there are community groups that would like to come and see it during the week, Probus groups or senior citizens, we will open it specifically for those groups.
So how can people get in touch with you if they want to do that?
They can either have a look at our website or our email address, or they can ring me on 0418 324 100.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Cheryl.
Pleasure.
And as we go to a break, we'll return with more news after this.